And so I was like, I want to go on foreign exchange. And she's like, I'm like, go to another country for a year? And she's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm like, did you just say yes to me? Hey guys, my name is JD Vink, and this is my first video on this channel. Please don't mind my voice. I'm a little sick and I lost. I'm making this video to kind of introduce myself, of course, and kind of tell y'all a little bit about my application process so far for Rotary Youth Exchange. And I'm still in the application process. So it started last summer. There's a chicken, I'm sorry. It started last summer, and well, last year I had a friend who was from Sweden. She was an exchange student, and I actually didn't know she was an exchange student until because I was in theater with her, and we were doing a show, and I think in the dressing room once she told me, I asked her a question, I was like, whoa. And that summer, I was just like, whoa, I want to do that. And so I messaged her, because she had already gone back, and I was like, hey Emma, what program do you use, and how do I get into this? And she was like, I use Rotary. I was like, okay. In Sweden, I guess they let you pick out 6 countries for your application, or with her Rotary Club. And so I was like, I'm going to make a list so that when I get this application, I can do it. I made that list, and I didn't know where to start. And my grandma works with a Rotarian. And I went up to him and I asked him, I was like, I want to go on foreign exchange. How do I do that? And he's like, well, at your high school there's an Interact Club, and they're kind of a high school branch of Rotary, and I think if you should start there. I was like, okay. And I was kind of perturbed. I was like, I don't want to do that. And so school starts, and I go and I join the club. Okay, so we do a lot of community service and stuff for Interact, and the sponsor, Mr. Lee, is awesome. So I joined, and I literally asked him about maybe 3 times a week when I could have my application, because they don't get it until certain times. So I got mine after months of asking him. I probably annoyed the crap out of him. Sorry, Mr. Lee, but I got it. And it was this cute little 4-page thing. I was like, this is nothing. And so I filled it out, and my district's applications, you pick out 4 countries. And at this time, I was dead set. I was going to go to Japan. I was going to speak Japanese. I had already started trying to learn the language. Well, then we had our interviews in November. I think it was the 21st. I was so excited. I wore my khakis. I love khakis. I wore this cute little dark green tank top with a blue sweater pullover thing. That was so cute. I was excited. And so I did my interviews, and there were some Rotecs there and some other people who wanted to be exchange students, of course. And I talked to them a bit, and I don't know, everyone there is just so smart, and everyone's really happy. And I did my interviews, and the people were really nice. They asked you questions, and some of them were more personal, if you're planning on doing exchange, kind of expect them to ask you about, because they want to find out your weaknesses and strengths. So they'll ask about that, and because they really want to make sure that you're going to be able to do well in another country and not like mentally break down or something, or not be able to handle it. I don't know. But they ask that kind of stuff, and they give you a lot of, there's like 4 interview rooms, and they give you, like, in one of the rooms, situations, like, if this and this happened, and you were here without, like, a phone or something, what would you do? This, like, that kind of stuff. And in one of my interview rooms, I felt really bad, because I was on top of everything in all my interviews, except for this one. And they asked me, they were like, how are you on current events? I don't watch TV. I have never really been one to watch the news or get caught up in that kind of stuff. And I felt kind of bad. I was like, uh-oh. But that didn't really affect, more or less thought of me, or, like, I guess it didn't affect anything with my interview. And, but I think that when you get over there, whatever country you go to, because other countries I'm planning on going to France. It's my first choice, and I was ranked second in my interviews, because they rank you from, like, most qualified candidate and down. I was ranked second, and so I'm hoping I get my first choice, which is France. And I've heard that they're very politically aware. I don't know. And they'll ask you questions about what's going on with the government in your country. So I'm going to ask my friend. One of my best friends is in debate, so she watches the news a lot. And so there's that. And then the Interact sponsor is a government teacher. I guess that helps too. The interviews, it's not really it's not a big stress thing. And they also they give a presentation about like how much it's going to be if you want to do long term, which is up to around like 11 months, or short term, which is, you know, the summer, and you go for like, I think 1 month or a few weeks to another country, and then when you come back, you bring your host sibling back with you, and they do their short term. So it's kind of like a little switchback thing, but you don't have to do that if you do long term. For short term, it's about 1,800, I think, or 1,700, around that. And then long term, which is, you know, you're doing a school year, it's 6,500. So, and that's just the flat fee. That's not what you're going to need when you're over there. Or like, because you have to get a passport if you don't already have one. You have to get a student visa, which I think is in the flat fee. I don't remember. So if I'm wrong, don't hold me to it. You have to pay about $200 for, one is the interview fee, like $100 to be interviewed, and then $100 that you turn in with your application. And so there's that. And then once you've been temporarily accepted, kind of, it's like the first acceptance. Like, they liked you at the interviews, so we're going to keep going and see if we like you more. And so then you get to fill out the long application you get to. That's 15 pages long, and I would advise you not to be like me, because I printed mine out. I was going to write on it, like handwrite my application out. And then I read the rules page on the second page, and it's like, read these before you go ahead with anything. Do not print out your application. Do not handwrite it. You have to type everything into the blanks, because it's like a little, not PDF, or I don't know, whatever it is. You type everything in on your computer, and there's a special format you have to use, and then you have to write a letter, and that goes to your future host family and host club. So there's that. And then your parent or guardian, my grandma, I live with her, they have to write a letter, and it's kind of why you want your child to go, what should we know about your child, what do you think is most inspiring about your child, etc. And so, and like, why do you think your student would do good on your exchange? So you do that. There's signatures you have to get. You have to have everyone sign this stuff when you print it out in blue pen. Blue pen. You have to go to the doctor. Go to the dentist and go to a physician. And they have to sign that stuff in blue pen too, which I would advise you bring one, because apparently doctors and nurses aren't allowed to use blue pens. Beats me. But do that, and make sure the dentist doesn't steal your blue pen, because I didn't walk out of there with my blue pen. Sad story. But and also it teaches you responsibility before you get there. You're preparing yourself to go to another country. It takes a lot of responsibility. And yeah, like, I have had to email so many people in the past few months, because I've been needing to meet up with people to get signatures, to do this or that, or because I've been fundraising a lot. And I'm almost halfway there. So I think it'd be good if that's something that you're wanting to do, because I am excited. I am like, and I hope this kind of like tips the boat, like if you're like halfway between yes and no. Oh, and you make really good friends there. Like, I was at my first orientation, and that was like 2 weeks ago, and I got to, like, they got to try on blazers on us, and it was cool. And I met a friend, and him and I talk a lot, and I don't know, you find that you have similar interests with people, especially when you both share the interest of wanting to fly off to another country for a year. But yeah, I don't think that it should be a big problem if you're wanting to go. And I'm gonna leave this video.